Welcome to The Critical Path, Project Management and Leadership in Complex Environments, the podcast where we explore how leadership and project management come together to deliver complex projects when failure simply isn't an option. I'm your host, Isaac Alcaide. Today, we are going to talk about high-performance teams. High-performance teams have become one of the most overused and misunderstood concepts in modern project management and organizational leadership. You hear the term everywhere. Companies claim they have them. Leaders say they want them. Consultants sell frameworks to create them, but very few people can clearly explain what a high-performance team actually is, how it behaves, and more importantly, how it is built. In complex environments like aerospace, defense, healthcare, critical infrastructure, where uncertainty, risk, and interdependencies are constant, the difference between an average team and a genuinely high-performing one isn't little. It's dramatic. It shows up in safety outcomes, schedule adherence, innovation, team morale, stakeholder confidence, and in avoiding those low probability, high impact failures that keep leaders awake at night. This episode goes beyond the cliches of teamwork and collaboration. We'll unpack the anatomy of a high performance team, the underlying conditions, the behaviors, and the leadership practices that enable excellence. Then we'll break down the transformation journey, how teams evolve, what barriers they encounter, and what leaders must deliberately orchestrate to unlock sustained performance. And, as always, we'll explore a real-world example from a high-stakes environment to anchor these ideas in practice rather than just theory. Whether you lead a project team of 5 engineers, a multidisciplinary program across several nations, or an operational team delivering daily outcomes, the principles we'll cover today are universal. Let's dive into what it truly takes to create, sustain, and lead a high-performance team. High-performance teams are not defined by talent alone. They are defined by the consistency of the outcomes and the quality of their interactions. These teams operate with clarity of purpose, deep trust, psychological safety, high accountability, and disciplined execution. But they also demonstrate adaptability, something increasingly essential in environments where plans rarely survive first contact with reality. A high-performance team is one where trust is the baseline operating system. People speak openly, ask questions, admit mistakes early, and challenge ideas without fear of embarrassment or punishment. Roles
and expectations are crystal clear. Team members know who owns what success looks like, and how how their work links to the bigger picture. Accountability is shared, not imposed. People don't just deliver for the leader's sake. They deliver for the team and for the mission. They learn continuously. High performers debrief, reflect, adapt, refine, and iterate. Feedback loops are short and honest. They align quickly and execute decisively. Once decisions are made, they act with energy and cohesion. No friction, no politics, no hiding agendas. High performance is not accidental. It is designed, cultivated, and reinforced through leadership behaviors and systemic conditions. I would like to explain from a point of view the essential foundations of high performance teams. And they are the following: psychological safety. Teams cannot outperform if members are afraid to speak up, challenge assumptions, or surface problems early. Psychological safety is the precondition to innovation, risk management, and resilience. Without it, problems are hidden, ideas are withheld, and performance is capped. Another essential foundation is purpose and shared mission. High performance teams are anchored in a mission larger than themselves. They can articulate why they exist with clarity and conviction, and they understand the real world consequences of failing to deliver. They see themselves as custodians of the mission, not just task completers. Clear structure and role alignment. Ambiguity is a performance killer. When roles overlap, gaps emerge, accountability weakens, and conflict grows. High performance teams have explicit structures, clear interfaces, and well defined responsibilities. High standards and positive pressure. These teams embrace excellent, not minimal compliance. The standard isn't good enough. It's right first time, safe first time, as planned, or better. These create positive internal pressure that elevates everyone. Discipline in execution. A high performance team maintains operational discipline, meeting rhythms that matter, decision pathways that are respected, risk registers that are live and used, and documentation that is actually meaningful, not bureaucratic. Now, I would like to basically go through and explain how teams become high performance teams in 7 steps. Step Number 1. Establish a safe and transparent baseline. Teams cannot improve what they cannot see. Leaders must establish a transparent baseline. Performance metrics, psychological safety status, stakeholder expectations, risk, and current behaviors. Honest conversations are essential. This is where leaders create the psychological safety environment. Step number 2, set a clear mission and non-negotiables. Teams need a direction of travel, a compelling purpose, and a small number of non-negotiable standards. These non-negotiables become the backbone of team culture. Things like safety behavior, communication expectations, escalation paths, and decision-making protocols. Step number 3, aligned people to purpose and roles. Restructuring may be necessary. Clarify responsibilities. Remove duplicated roles. Close ownership gaps. Talent alignment is a major driver of performance. People need to be doing the work they are best suited for. Step number 4, establish rhythms and operating cadence. Daily stand-ups, weekly coordination meetings, risk reviews, decision boards. Cadence create predictability, which creates stability. Stability is the platform for performance. I repeat, this is very important. Stability is the platform for performance. Step number 5, build trust and challenge culture. Trust isn't built through workshops. It's built through behavior. Leaders must be consistent, transparent, share information openly, admit mistakes, invite challenge, listen actively, and protect those who speak up. Over time, this transforms psychological safety from a concept to a habit. Step number 6, developed capability and autonomy. High performance teams have high skill and high responsibility. Training, coaching, cross-functional knowledge sharing, and stretch assignments are all the mechanisms to increase capability. Equally important is granting autonomy. Teams should be empowered to make decisions at the lowest safe level. And step number 7, reinforce, measure, and adapt. Finally, leaders must reinforce the behaviors they want to see. They must measure performance continuously, not just output, but teamwork, learning capacity, resilience, and decision quality. And then they adapt. High performance teams are never finished. They are continually evolving. One of the clearest real-world examples of a high-performance team is NASA's Apollo program, especially the integrated operations teams that executed Apollo 11 and later Apollo 13. NASA's mission complexity was unprecedented. Engineers, astronauts, computing specialists, operation controllers, contractors, scientists, and decision makers across governments and industry had to operate as a single cohesive team. Lives were at stake. Geopolitical pressure was extreme, and the required technological innovations were groundbreaking. Why did the Apollo teams achieve high performance? Well, psychological safety was embedded early. Roles and responsibilities were unambiguous. Each individual, from flight controllers to telemetry analysts, knew exactly what they were accountable for. Relentless rehearsal and disciplined execution. Simulations were intense and regular. Failure in simulations was not punished. It was expected and used to improve the system. Unified mission mindset. The purpose was so powerful that personal agendas dissolved. Every team member was deeply committed to the mission's success. Rapid problem solving under pressure. When Apollo 13 suffered its catastrophic oxygen tank explosion, the team's reaction exemplified high performance. Calm, focused, collaborative, adaptive. The phrase, failure is not an option, wasn't motivational. It reflected a deeply ingrained culture of disciplined improvisation. This example highlights the high performance. This example highlights that high performance teams are not built through motivational speeches. They are forged through clarity, practice, trust, and leadership that encourages both autonomy and accountability. And let's reflect about what I just said. When we examine high performance teams, a common misconception is that they are powered by extraordinary individuals. In reality, they are powered by ordinary individuals operating in extraordinary environments created by deliberate design. High performance is a system outcome. It emerges not from charisma or raw talent, but from structure, clarity, trust, and shared purpose. Reflecting on your own teams, past and present, it's likely you will recognize patterns. Teams that struggle probably lacked clarity, safety, or coherent leadership. Teams that excelled did so not because everything was smoothly, but because they had the resilience to navigate difficulty together. High performance is most visible when things go wrong, not when things go right. The transformation into a high performance team is a journey rather than an event. It requires courage from leaders, openness from team members, and a willingness to dismantle old habits. Most importantly, it requires a commitment to continuous learning. A team that learns faster than its environment changes will always outperform one that doesn't. I would like to conclude this episode with the following. High-performance teams do not appear by chance. They are engineered. They require clarity of purpose, discipline, execution, psychological safety, and leadership that reinforces the right behaviors every single day. They have evolved through deliberate practice, continuous learning, and a strong sense of mission. And when established, they become one of the most powerful strategic assets any organization can possess. If you are leading a team today, whether in a high-risk industry, complex project environment, or a dynamic operational setting, the principles we've covered are both actionable and timeless. Focus on clarity, build trust, reinforce standards, and create an environment where people can perform at their best.
Thanks for listening to The Critical Path, Project Management and Leadership in Complex Environments. If you enjoyed this episode, please follow or rate the show on Spotify and share it with colleagues who work where reliability matters most. See you on the next episode of The Critical Path.